Welcome to the II Show. Well-known punter Czechbet has kindly provided us with a video with his thoughts on track bias. Check it out and see what you think.
So, yeah, just want to get all the chit chat out of the way now so I can spend some time doing some video analysis for Craig for tomorrow night. A few guys out there asked me if they could see my older videos. No problem. I've got a website / podcast thing in the pipe, so I've kept them all. They'll all be put up there in due course. I've also spoke to Dave B at the II preview show, and I've suggested he can have freedom to any of my videos, any of the parts he wants to use. Probably the less controversial parts, it's up to him, but I think that'll be on Twitter or and YouTube, I'm pretty sure. So, you know, subscribe to them if you like the kind of outside the box views or any in-depth race analysis, thought process, etc. Just, you know, follow those guys as well. You know, happy to help them. We all should be young, genuine ground lads. They got no ties or restrictions to what they say or discuss. So, yeah, that's how I roll as well. Bring it on, more of them. So, okay, well, apologies for repeating anything from previous videos, but might be new people watching, and if I repeat anything, it just shows the importance of it anyway. It's not just my post-COVID memory cloud, it's clouded memory, it's you know, it's how I feel. So the idea is, as always with the previous videos, just try and bring something new to your table, give you a different outlook or approach to what you've been doing, and maybe you can adapt and prod it down the line. You know, many Shrudies out there are already doing the same as what I'm doing, and similar. I mean, let's be honest, nobody's beyond improving. You know, I love seeing what others do. Whether you use it or not is another matter, but the room for error in this game right now, form wise, punting, it's never been smaller. So you need a serious A game to prosper properly at the moment. You know, otherwise it's not there. You can't afford to be lax and loose. It's really, this is the way it's possibly going to go, unfortunately. But you know, let's see. The style you play in the summer, it won't work in the winter anyway. So you've got to adapt. But I just feel that what they do with the tracks, I think it's just going to continue all through the summer anyway. So, you know, we'll see, won't we? I mean, in the tone of previous videos I've released, let's be clear and straight to the crunch. In the current climate of the ground industry, and it's the winter, nobody should be expecting a level track. Now, that's for natural reasons, and for not such natural reasons or innocent reasons. I mean, anyone thinking I'm a little sceptical about these type of things and that tracks are not prepared in certain ways or acted upon in running, you know, I could probably give you 10 examples in the last few weeks, but a good one, the reason I'm putting it out now, a good one is actually this week at Yarmouth. Now, I know Yarmouth's not one of the most popular tracks, and it's not Racing Post TV anymore, but look, this is just an indication of how I perceive these things. I mean, Monday the track ran well. It did run well Monday. There was dogs, bitches. It was off the front. It was off the back. The rails looked good for a rare occasion in the last 3 or 4 months. It's probably the best track probably the best place on the track that night. I think the key indicator though, there were 8 winning favourites. Now, that's not going to be popular anywhere. Just whether they win or lose or whatever happens on the night, it's just not going to be popular with eight winning favourites at any meeting, any track. So, you know, I'd bet 101 something was said, because sure enough, either Tuesday or Wednesday morning, whenever they do it, you know, no doubt they brought the bulldozers in, because hey presto, without any inclement weather whatsoever, Wednesday night the rails is a totally different place to be. How's it happened? Well, was it a mistake? Someone didn't turn up. One of the track staff was off sick. It could be, but does that happen? Like, does that happen 3 times a month for every track? I don't know. So, you know, I've got a couple of opinions on these sort of things now and what they do. Anyone looking at that track now might go, "Oh, what are you talking about? You know, there was only one track 1-1, but most of the one dogs did their running and their times were right." Okay. Now this is where I'm going to come into something that maybe some of you haven't thought of. I think instead they don't put the going allowance on the winner. I think they put the going allowance on the part of the track that isn't the best. Okay. Now, for example, on Wednesday night when the rails wasn't running well, I've gone through it all. Believe me, I don't just come out with these things, without 10 reasons to back up every point I try and make. A lot of those railers have got times that would suggest they sort of did their running. Now, what you got to remember is I'm going on the back of my form. You can see, from the software I'm keeping track of my form. So I know some of those dogs have been running against the ground anyway. But what I mean to get at is they're covering themselves by keeping the going out. So say it was plus 10 Monday, minus 10 Wednesday. So again, why has it changed 20 spots? Okay, we'll give them that. That's not a problem. But what they've done is they've tried to use the going allowances on the railers in defeat, not on the winners. So by giving it 10 slow, it makes the railers look right on paper. But then there was a couple of occasions where there was a couple of complete pigs up the middle. I mean, they don't even want to win. They're doing their fastest time in 2-3 months whilst they're jogging, looking around in the wing mirrors wanting company. So I mean, that adds up. So it adds up that the middle was going much faster and the rail was going what they perceive as the same, but the rail was actually going slower. So sorry, I don't know if I've worded it right, but it's from their angle, it seems clever, doesn't it? It makes sense. They've given official allowances out to protect the slow part of the track, but that's not great form, is it, going forward for anyone who's not staying on top of it? I mean, thanks for the form for me. Great, I'm putting it in as 20 fast and I'm putting it as a middle to wide bias. Thanks very much. That's gold. Subjectional, of course, but I've been doing well out of place, and as the others, that at the end of the day, that's all you can be judged on, is what you've got out of it. If you were making the wrong decisions on these things, you're not going to get anything out of it, are you? I mean, this is Yarmouth. I don't want to pick on them because I do like the place. And I suppose you have to see it on a balanced view. They've only got 2 meetings a week. It's a very tiny racing strength. What real defence do they possess other than playing tricks with the ground and going allowances? What can they do? I mean, I wouldn't want that grading job. Do we condone this? Absolutely not. It's not right, but it makes sense, and I'm sure it does to them anyway. That's the only thing they've got on their side. It's their, let's call it the 00 from the roulette. Let's think of their extra thing they've got, the extra card up their sleeve they've got, sort of thing. I mean, plus you add in the orders these tracks get from ARC and SIS. It's so obvious. I mean, they show their hand just so often. Take offence to it. That's what I do. It just makes it. I just love it. Bring it on. If you think people are stupid, look at your own tracks. If you're not really doing it, I mean, I challenge you for these patterns. Keep notes, because if you're frustrated and you're getting a bit lost and you're like, well, I used to be good at picking dogs and now I can't pick them, I can't pick my nose. It is a lot of work, granted, and that's why they probably do it, because they think no one's going to go to these lengths. We'll lose them. We'll lose these people. They do their money and they get lost and they get disenchanted by it all, and that's it. We're in control. So don't ever accept what the racing office would give you. Don't accept all their allowances. Go through them all if you're not already. And in turn, what the public form gives you. So when you get the form in the newspaper, it's not right, is it? It's not right. That form's nothing. It's tissue paper. The form has never been more false. It's never been more worthless. So this is what you've got to do. And a lot of people's going to think, oh, that's a bloody lot of work. It is. That's why they do it. I mean, the biggest mistake, I think, or one of the biggest mistakes I think the hierarchy of the ground industry has ever made, they totally underestimated the punters and to what lengths they go to. They've underestimated everything. Flat caps, 20 fags a meeting, stupid talk, blinkered. They're not hard to beat. Well, talk about blindsided. Now's your answer. What is the answer? They have to try tricks with the tracks, or don't take any bets. I mean, we've done them 100%. They cannot win with a level track. They're worried that they're going to get turned over. If they mess the track up, they're going to get turned over by people like me playing these angles. Send them a tin hat in the post. I mean, I would suggest they need to break the bank and hire the right people, or hire some hitmen or something, because they actually haven't got a chance. They put themselves in this position, and now they've been, checkmate. So, okay, we're just going to Crayford's, other main track. It's well documented. Start of the year, it was massive rails. I mean, look, you had the golden jacket. you know, they were dead in the water with that bias, and that was a proper bias, you know. So thanks a lot. Then it did look to go wide in the recent weeks. Now this is where most of the guys know this, but what you've got to be careful is, and I see it too often, you just see it, if you pop in a forum now and again, you see people going, oh, it's wide there, it's wide there. You can see what's happening, the grade and ladder's changing, and those people are not on top of it, they're just seeing numbers in front of them. Now, when it was massive rail, when it was the big frost was there, it was 1, 2, 3, and 5 and 6 would beat 8 lengths, 6 lengths, 10 lengths. They were beat to the moon. But when you see the going you've had in the last few weeks, you might have seen 5, 6 dogs win, but the one dogs were only beat a couple of lengths. So it's absolutely not the same kind of bias you were up against at the start of the year. So you've got to, you know, think careful. You don't want to start jumping on thinking it's wide and then all of a sudden the track 1 wins 5 lengths. You don't know what's going on, because it's all the turnarounds now. It's all the dogs that have been running against the ground. They're now outgraded. They're starting to find their feet again because they've actually got something they can run on. You know, this is common sense stuff. So be careful. You don't want to get caught with your pants down. It's the same as if you see a big pattern, don't stick with it and think they're not going to switch it or try to switch it. Again, you'll be caught out. So in every angle you work, there's traps set there. If you start playing a certain way and think this is the way, you've just got to be fluid and adaptable all times. It's not nice, is it? But it's UK ground racing. It's and who's to say it's going to change? What is going to change? I mean, well, we've briefly mentioned before, the tote, they don't mind level track because it's all about turnover, but bookies and things like that, I just think they like chaos theory, you know. So we'll see. I mean, this week I think Crayford has run a bit more level, but we're seeing dogs benefit from all over the place that are finding some form. It's cold there tonight, so I don't think it dips minus what it says on the weather, but you know, I'll be watching in the morning whether the inside lanes come a little bit alive there. You know, if it's Rowsey this afternoon or a couple of rallies win this afternoon, they might try and slow it up there, and you might get lanes 2 and 3 going in and it being a bit bingo, but we'll see. I'm doing all those cards tonight, so after tomorrow's bags I'll put out some evening analysis and, you know, some of the early races. So again, my idea being it would give everyone out there a bit of a gauge to what you're looking at for the races after. You know, if you fancy a few dogs in different races, at least you've got some benchmark races you might be able to take something from. So we'll see. You know, stay sharp. Ciao.
Thanks for watching, guys. Make sure you click that subscribe button, and we look forward to getting Czechbet on the II preview show in the near future.